happy Friday. I'm sitting outside of a tiny little coffee house here in my community. It's kind of the official start of tax season here. It's Friday. We get to start e-filing on Monday. But I'm going to treat myself to one of their really good breakfast burritos. It's got sausage and egg, potato, all warmed up in a flour tortilla. But there's a little bit of a line, so I hope they hurry. I bought a new Cuisinart when I was recently in Boise. It's a Cuisinart weigh scale, and I want to use it for both my home, in cooking in my kitchen, and also weighing different skeins of yarn. I'm learning to make socks 2 at a time, and I need to divide my skein of yarn evenly, and this was a really nice weigh scale. I'm glad I invested in this. Bed Bath & Beyond, of course, with a 20% off coupon, and you can weigh with or without the bowl, and I really like it. This beautiful snowfall. The mountains right outside of my studio window. There is my studio barn quilt. The other barn quilt is right there, kind of on our bunkhouse. Beautiful snowfall. Mountains way over there. And let me see if I can sneak around the side of the studio here, and well, there's some mountains. They're still not. There's the mountains. And back around my studio door. So I can back up here. Hi girls. Hi girls. Is that your orange over there? Hi girls. When I was loading my quilt this afternoon, it was a good example of a client that I have. I love her work, and she's easy to work with. This quilt was a very simple, almost like a square in a square. I load with zippers, meaning I zip my quilt tops and backing and batting onto my quilt frames. This quilt was square. You can see it was pretty square rolling it on my quilting machine. The only problem I had with this is I had overrolled it, so I had to keep pulling it out. But quilting to me is half of the battle is loading it properly and making sure that it's square on the machine. I also was just putting a pantograph, what we call a pantograph, on this quilt, where I just basically trace a pattern. This is not a custom quilting job by any means, but this is going to be a very sweet, darling quilt. Very dainty, very feminine. I'm not exactly sure who it is for the recipient, but it's a very sweet, light pastel printed quilt. Darling quilt, beautiful borders. This was 2 passes of the panto, and kind of what it looked like. I used a variegated grayish cream colored thread on this. It's just going to turn out really just a very sweet quilt. And because you couldn't see the quilting very well on this, I went over, here in a minute you'll see, I went over and I turned off, there's a thread that I ran over. It's not from my quilting, it was left in the seam. But anyway, I went over and turned off the quilt, or excuse me, turned off the lights, and you could see the quilting pattern a little bit better. It's called Twisted Flower, I want to say. Just a very sweet pattern.